Valley Club, there's a Kraken bait event going on right now, all in the midst of a massive resource crunch in the game right now. We also have some free awaken abilities, maybe. We got a promo code of the week. We're talking about all of that and more in this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. Joining me this week is a guest, finally. It is my brother Dorky Dad. I've been ready for all these topics and more than brother Dorky. Let him know what to do.
Hey, yo, let's go smash it.
Oh, yeah, and welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel and this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. I do this every week, keeping you updated on everything that has happened and is upcoming in Marvel Strike Force. And if you get some value from today's video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you know as soon as a brand new video goes up. But it has been way too long, brother Dorky Dad. Man, I love talking to you about Marvel Strike Force, but it's been way too long. The holidays, lack of content in the game. There's been various things going on, but how has life been? I know you're fighting a cold right now, but you said you're well, but your voice may have some issues. Other than that, I guess you could discuss it as, how have you been?
You know, at Christmas time, I got a big family. We love Christmas, so it's always a fun time of the year for us.
Nice. Yeah, I love the holidays. I love spending time with family. It does get cold. Don't like that part, but yeah, let's just jump right ahead into the promo code of the week. I'm so excited. I haven't had a guest on in a while that I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. All right. So, in case you guys missed it, this came out a little while ago. Winter Gift is the code, and this is for 500,000 supply credits. This is going to expire 4 days as of me recording this. Monday, December 15th, 6 p.m. is when it's going to expire. And if you need to claim it, marvelstrikeforce.com/player gift. Have you ever gotten any of the codes to work on your in-game?
I don't think I've ever tried. I've always gone to the website.
I've tried it once in game or a couple times in game. It's never worked. So I was like, yeah, let's just go to the website. 500,000 supply credits. Did you get anything good with this?
No, I mean, I don't need anything from it personally, like, because the Blitz orbs are gone now, right? So it's I buy every day the war refreshes and I buy the training modules, but I actually maintain more shop credits than I can spend and let's go crazy on it, especially with the new campaigns that they're putting out. Which, I mean, I started a new player account. I've kind of already sunset it. But with those new campaigns, I was doing pretty good. After 3 weeks, I had every single team from the Adventure and the Versus Orb unlocked. Not maxed out, mind you, just unlocked. Okay. So you do get a burst of these shop credits in the early moments of your account. And then from things like this, really kind of springboard you. But I hear that it completely dries up after, which I can understand. Because on that new account, when I was doing those orbs, it's like I was zeroing myself out every single day. So I can see be needed.
The one of the strike spots, they said they're supposed to be adding more of this. I thought it would be more consistent. They do have these codes and everything like that, but I guess if you're not really engaged with the community, there's some segment of the player base that never watches YouTube, never goes on Reddit. They just go play the game. Yeah. How do they get this stuff? I don't know. How they get this stuff.
Yeah, especially if you're like me and you were veteran players. So we got this like big cushion of this stuff when it like was switched over, right? But if you were a player that was like in the middle of leveling before the shop credit stuff happened, you didn't get all the shop credits they give players through the leveling experience. And so that's like a double whammy for those players. So with the removal of the Blitz gold orbs, I do hope they start shoveling this stuff down on players. But because of how they priced the Venture and Versus Orb, I have my concerns about it.
All right, well, let's go into that section right now because I did want to talk about this because I used some supply credits. I saw Sebastian Shaw in here once. Ooh. I've seen some screenshots of Rachel Summers in here. They didn't say they was going to be here, but they are long overdue. Normally, the beginning of the month, they have these characters. They haven't had anything for December yet, and they were late for November, but I did see them. I think it was a mistake, but let's talk about these orbs. What would you say is the best value for the new players? What are you getting the most value out of when you were running your newer account?
Yeah, so you start with the Venture Orb. You get to unlock all the Vigilante team, all the Thunderbolts team. I mean, there's like Night Stalkers and stuff in there. You get to unlock the Mighty Avengers, which is cool. I think Orcus is still in there. But you get to unlock at least 3 of the 6 needed raid teams, which I think is really, really good. You can do it fairly quickly. Like it took me 2 weeks to get all these characters, and then I moved over to the Venture Warp. And then there was a promo code that gave a whack load of shop credits, and I got all the Venture teams unlocked instantly.
Nice. I guess there are some good catch-up mechanics for players. Just
catch up, not keep up. Yeah.
Catch up a little. Well, hopefully they'll figure out that part, because they didn't even have the catch-up part settled at one point. So
true.
They'll catch you up. Hopefully they find a way to keep you up in 2026. All right. But I guess for me, the big thing this week was the negative zone. And I was talking so much trash on this. Like when I saw this on Friday, I'm like, oh, the negative zone is coming back. It's exact same content. Nothing has changed. And I was like, oh, this is not fun. And I think for myself, I got that negative impression when we had to do it over and over and over again while the Odin Diamonds were going on. I was like, oh, I don't like this. I was playing this yesterday. I had some retro feel to it. I was like, oh, this is pretty fun. It was pretty challenging. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna auto this. I put it on and my character's died. I'm like, hold on, maybe this is better than I thought. So
I was about to say, I was like, oh no.
No, it's like, wait a minute. I gotta actually play this. Like, so I sat down, I was playing through it. I'm like, wait, I'm not gonna watch any of the videos. I was just gonna go try to figure this out again for myself, because this has been so long. This was great. What was your impression of this? I mean, maybe because we've lacking content for so long, I'm like, oh, this is actually a little puzzle I can get to figure out. What was your impression of this? Were you as happy about the negative zone as I am, or did it bring back old memories of the olden milestones for you?
I mean, yeah, when they made us do it too much, like that absolutely sucked, right? But what's just true about the negative zone and the use of Vigilante on the first 8 or 10 nodes is like, it's really well designed content, and it's fun if you have that. Obviously, if you don't have the team, that's gonna feel bad. We can talk about like
we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, but like the content itself, cool. Yeah, the content itself is fun, and recycling content that is well designed, like the negative zone, I think is perfectly fine, as long as we're not running it 40 times in a month like they try to get us to do. Right,
2 times is perfect. 2 times is perfect.
I thought it was great. I mean, the Vigilante nodes, obviously I remember it like a book, but it was still fun to do it. The Crucible nodes, now that we have the Fantastic Four team, they were made a lot easier now that we have, Thunderbolts are actually built up from raids. We have an extra burn team that we could use, which is good. And then the Arena nodes, the Arena nodes were pretty tough, but again, by the time you reach that, you have more burn teams you could use. You have your Thunderbolts, Accursed, Vigilante, and then you want to kind of main your Fantastic Four team. So I actually had a lot of fun. We got to use the entire Harbinger roster there. It felt like meaningful, difficult content. I just wish everybody was able to experience it the way me and you experienced it.
Yeah, so that's what I think the problem is. It's designed for endgame players, but
kind of.
It's I guess sort of right, because these are older teams, right? You do need to have them built up. You need like decent gear on them. Like the shards, they've made it a little more available for people that aren't at the end game. So shards wise, you should be good gear. Level wise, that's where players I think might struggle with this. And I think for players that where we are towards the end game, I think this is great content. The controversy, I think, or the what they could have done better is, this is supposed to be the release method for Swordsmaster. Newer players, they might not have these teams built up. Vigilantes, there's a reason to build them. Thunderbolts, maybe not. Accursed, maybe not. The Fantastic Four MCU. So there should be 2 of those teams that you should have built up. Newer players, are they going to get shut out of Swordsmaster? That would be my only pushback against this for mid-game and newer players. So should they have a different release method? Should they have an easier version for newer players that they catch up? Just get those Swordsmaster shards and then maybe other resources. I mean, I think that's a kind of a problem with the content, because where we're at, they release content like, oh, this is super challenging, I love it. A lot of the other player base is like, yeah, we can't even access this. And then we get some content like, oh, this is too easy. And then the other players are like, oh, this is good. So I think that's kind of a problem with where the game is right now. They got a long, this is what, we're going on 7 years. We're going to be coming on 8 years in a few months here. How do they solve that problem? Because I love this, but I know there's some people that did not love this, and there might be people that get shut out of the Swordsmaster release.
Yeah, so like I was talking about that account that I had started, it was like 3 weeks old. That account unlocked Hellcat, because Hellcat's release method was just log in for 7 days, 2 times in a row, and I got a Hellcat unlock, and that was really cool. And that's one of the best selling points of Marvel Strike Force is like, hey, if you're an engaged player, you should unlock every single character minus the epic characters and the mythic characters, very quickly after their release. Now, you still can with cores and sigils, but I don't want to give that out to the developers. I don't think that is healthy for the game. I think that you want to keep that like shining star standard that Marvel Strike Force set on the we give you characters. Yeah. What I would love to see in the future, because this is sort of tailored to people that are, level 100 plus that have those teams built up. If you are level 75, like it's not that you're gonna have a hard time with the mode, it's that you literally can't do it. Like you're not gonna beat the first node, let alone 16 of them twice, right? Yeah. What I really would have loved to see was like a negative zone Harbinger Omega, and that one's for us. And then a negative zone Harbinger blank, and that one is tuned for like, it would have to be really low, to be honest with you. Like tune it to like level 75, gear tier 14. That's like a month and a half in. Now, there's still gonna be new players that aren't gonna get it, like very new players, but the majority of, consistently engaged players are gonna get it at that point. And then you need to invest in the same sort of game mechanic that our campaigns have, where if we beat a campaign on the higher difficulty, we get all the rewards from the lower difficulty. So like you put the 100 Swordmaster shards on the negative zone Harbinger that is tuned for level 75 characters, but when I beat the Omega version, I get those Swordmaster shards, and then I also probably get a bunch of gold and trade materials, or we have these new diamond orbs in the game.
Gear tier 20 pieces, some purple ISO 8 ions. I mean, that's the stuff that endgame players want that we're not really getting, and I would love that. Yeah, but give us the stuff that we're looking for. I mean, I think the reason that I've been like not engaged with the content because the past few weeks is like there's not a lot for me unless I'm spending.
For sure, I hear you on that. Here's where I'll let those economy people have a little bit of an out. If they don't want to give us those things that they should probably be giving us in those final rewards, the new Diamond 4 and 5 orbs, because there's so much horrendous RNG in those, I feel like they should be sprinkling them everywhere. Because it's fun for people to open them, and it doesn't break your account because you're probably going to get garbage from it anyway, right? But somebody's going to get lucky and be super happy. So I feel like they now have the means to put cool stuff in difficult content for endgame players while not robbing like other like lower, I'm not going to say lower tier players, but like younger accounts, locking them out of something like Swordmaster shards.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we could even go back to the previous release for this, and we, as far as Lady Bullseye, they didn't get the full unlock for players as well. It looks like we got 50 in the command center. We got 75 total from this. I think we got 25 from the event that what they did with Sebastian Shaw, where he did the whole event, and then 10 from Twitch Shots. So that's 85 shards. Not enough for the full unlock. So that's two kind of release methods that it would have been nice for newer mid-game players to get that unlocked. Maybe not the full like 4 or 5 star to really utilize that character, but just to unlock that character, have them in your roster. You can start building them if you want. I feel that has been missing with the Bullseye and Swordmaster release.
I think is just unacceptable. Like it's, again, the shining standard of Marvel Strike Force is that if you're an engaged player, you unlock the characters, right? It is just unacceptable that they only gave 50 Lady Bullseye shards away. Plus there was 25, sure. The 10 from Twitch, you don't count that because not everyone's on Twitch. Some countries like literally can't make Twitch accounts. Like this is not a thing that you can lean into. The Sigil store was not meant to be character releases. It was meant to be something that you get excited about when you get the currency to go and buy something. It shouldn't be, oh, I mandatorily have to spend this on these shards, because then that goes against what the spirit of the seasonal stores were. Again, the base unlock should be standard for any engaged player, whether it be something as boring as a command center, log in for 7 days, 2 times in a row, or go to a blitz battle, or certain amount of raids are going to get you the whatever the case may be. The 100 shards should be achievable just by being an engaged player. And then if you want to put an additional 80 in the negative zone game mode so that people can be like, oh, if I actually beat this, I'm instead going to get a 4-star Swordmaster. Does that really kill the game economy for people buying shards? Because they used to do that, right? We used to have means to get characters unlocked at 4 stars. I think it's ridiculous how just like hoardy the developers and the economy team has sort of been in regards to the resources to build characters and the unlocking of characters recently, there's other things to monetize that would make so much more sense, that would make for a happier community.
Well, I think a lot of that came. They made a bunch of different changes at once. They made the legendaries free, so they had to make up the money somewhere. And then, as you just mentioned, the sigil store, all these chapter stores, it was great because it gave us access to these things. But I think what they've kind of switched it to is this is the place that we're supposed to get the gear tier 20 pieces. Previously, we had a lot of orbs and then we could buy it with gold in the store. This is the place now that we're getting these character unlocks. It seemed like it was a bonus place back when we had like the Thanksgiving stores and the Halloween stores. It's like, oh, these stores are great because this is like a bonus on top of the things. And I was kind of discussing that with the chat earlier. Everybody does like these stores, and I think these stores are good, but it seems like instead of like a bonus thing, they're kind of replacing our gear that we normally would have gotten at this time last year. Our character shards seems, and I don't have data on this, but it seems like we're getting them a lot later than usual. And as far as the normal release for character shards that we would have gotten previously, this is kind of used as a replacement. Is that kind of what you're feeling as well, or am I kind of alone there? And the big switch has happened, but the legendary and this, and it just feels like the game is in a different place because of that.
Well, let me touch on legendaries for a second. Legendaries have been free to play accessible since Morgan Le Fay. We were able to unlock Morgan Le Fay at 3 stars, right? Up until like Green Goblin Classic, Black Cat, Omen, Logan, Shadow King. Like they told us.
Even before that though. They were not free to play. Before then, they were not. Then with the Scourges, they made everything free, and then I think we got used to that, and then they tried to go back to it with Shadow King and things like that. And now they're just like Quasar, Blaster, and Thunderstrike, just free. So
maxing out the characters, max out the legendary characters now, that's way more accessible than it was before. It's been free for so long. I don't even give credence to the old Omega Red model. That's a thing that they abandoned. They don't get to use that as an excuse to cramp down on stuff now. As far as the seasonal store stuff you're talking about, absolutely. Like there's no reason why we shouldn't have a secondary, Christmas store where we can get snow globes. And if we blitz 15 times a day, they put a limit on it or something, you get an additional 1,500 snow globes. You can go spend them somewhere. Like that sort of seasonal thematic celebration stuff is ridiculous not to have in a game. What we will see, and I'm sure this is going to be the case, we won't see a significant sigil increase from December to November, and that's when you'll know that this store did replace that seasonal store, and we are missing out on what we would normally get because they didn't take the opportunity to be like 12 days of Christmas and they send something to your mail that's like 50,000 sigils every day or something like that, which is what any game that wants you to feel good about logging in during the holidays would do. So I think you're right that the seasonal store was just replaced, and it is a failure on whoever's deciding how to celebrate the season to not have something like that going in the game, or if they're being limited on what they're allowed to put into the game, that is also just a failure on just balancing things, in my opinion.
Should they bring back some of these old release methods, like campaign releases and other release methods? Have that. So instead of having the sigil store and these chapter stores replacing that, just give us the old release methods back, or give us some other ways to get character shards back. Keep that. And then keep the sigil store. Keep that as like the bonus store. Like, oh yes, we get some extra stuff, because it seems like that is exactly what you said. They're instead of having that an addition like it used to be, like this exciting thing that the holiday stores. I was looking forward to it. Now this is our release method. This is our campaigns. This is our Blitz was a release method, but this is our release method for Blitz. This is our Blitz battles. This is all that stuff.
Yeah, like the way they have the store set up now, just from the new player experience, like I made that account, it's so much easier to navigate. It's just objectively better, but there's no reason why they can't add a temporary slot here, right? The reason why the stores got so just gross before is because we had like 15 different tabs throughout the year, and then when they added a seasonal store, it's like, oh, that's the 16th tab. There's no reason why they can't add one tab for like a 30-day period where we're getting extra stuff. It's like a secondary sigil store, basically.
I think my user interface has space for 2 more tabs. Actually, if you look right here, we go right here next to the costume store and another one. So yeah, it was so cluttered out the scroll before. Now they have done a good job of really cleaning this up. This is way better. but yeah, you utilize the space, the extra space that you've gained. So I like this. As far as the training mat and gold, I know like throughout the course of the game, there's always one crunch, either gold or training mats. For myself, I bought a bunch of those blitz orbs before they took the gold out. So I've had a lot of gold. So for me, it's a training mat crunch. Is this different though than other crunches that we've had in the past? Because I see a lot more complaints about that. I see a lot more topics on Reddit than I've had in the past. Is this a different training mat and gold crunch than we've had in the past?
Well, gold has always ebbed and flowed, and it's definitely, I don't know which is supposed to be the bad one in that situation. I guess it's ebbing right now instead of flowing. It used to be where you couldn't level all your characters to 105. And then we've kind of had like a 1.5 to 2 year period where you could level all the characters in a patch to level 105. And now they're going back to you can't level all the characters in a given patch to the max level. And people are noticing that, obviously, right? Because once you put that very player-friendly thing forward, people will expect it. The same thing with character unlocks, right?
Yeah.
So when they're taking back character unlocks the way they are, and they're rolling back on the gold, all of this is compounding to, like, obviously there's a very negative player sentiment right now. And it's just very unfortunate. As far as like the gold economy goes, I'm going to be experiencing it soon, I'm sure, because I'm about to unlock or dump the rest of my gold into Sentry and the next new mutant character that's going to come out. And then I'm going to be able to see, but I mean, for better or worse, I got a mega gold drop of 100 million gold. So I haven't actually experienced it myself yet.
Nice.
But in a month, I'm sure it's going to dry up and I will. So.
Oh, your gold's gonna be fine, but your training mats are gonna be out for a little while.
See, I am on a legacy account. Like it's been since 7 years, so I have so much training modules. It'll take
How? I've ran out. There's been times that I've run out of gold, but I got a lot of gold now. But usually when my gold goes up, my training mats go down. If I have a lot of training mats, then I have very little gold. But it's right now I have a lot of gold, so I have no training. How do you have?
I mean, I used to spend a lot of money on the game. Valley. I don't anymore, but I guess the trading mats really stocked up. Like I have 3,000 L4s, 97,000 L3s, 870,000 L2s. And then 776 of the green ones.
Maybe just a bunch of battle passes and strike passes over the years.
Probably.
Maybe.
Like about 6 months ago, I tried to zero out my gold and zero my training materials to do like an experiment. Like, can you actually keep up? When I spent all my gold, I couldn't spend like a quarter of my training materials.
Goodness.
It's a stupid place.
Good problem. That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. It just like, how can I relate to people is the problem, right?
All right. Well, as if the crunch isn't enough, there is a grindy whale, not even a whale event. This is a Kraken event for some Mephisto materials. Now, the actual reward's pretty good. You get a 4 diamond Mephisto, 5 diamond Mephisto. You get some radiant diamond orbs if you want to gamble and potentially get a really good thing on that. You got some T5 level ions, really, really good stuff here. But the big scoring method is gold. The big crunch that a lot of people are feeling is the separator of this. And did you click on these offers to scroll all the way to the side to see what they're selling all this stuff for with gold?
Yeah, I looked at it and then I was like, nope.
40 million gold for 1 radiant diamond orb fragment. Who is this for? I mean, are Krakens having so much gold that they don't know what to do with it? Oh, we could get some T5 level. 1 million for 40 million. Ooh. Don't do
it. Don't do it. Like, listen, if you do that, you can never complain about not being able to build your characters again. That's the problem, right?
I could go into. I could do one more Blue Marvel node. I could take one character up. Wait, I might not be able to take a full. No, never mind.
What's the difference? Like, why do you care to unlock Blue Marvel? He's not like the godsend answer for anything in PvP. PvE.
It's the collection part. This is a hero collector game. Even if the heroes suck, I need them for my collections. I want the Blue Bar. I want the Blue Bar. Anyway,
He doesn't suck, but it's like, don't tank your account. Please, guys, do not tank your account gold doing this. If you do, like, I can never take you seriously when you talk about not being able to.
I didn't do it. I'm just thinking out loud. But all right, what are your thoughts on this? What are your further thoughts on this? My goodness, this is so crazy.
Yeah, it's garbage. Don't do it. The difference between a 3-diamond Mephisto and a 4-diamond Mephisto is 50% base stats. It's not 50% overall. Like, yes, it's very impactful, but it doesn't make or break an encounter when you're using hard counters. And because this game has gotten so convoluted in the kits, soft counters basically don't exist anymore. You're either doing a hard counter where stats mean so little, or you're just getting your ass kicked because you don't know what you're doing. All right, so don't take the bite here.
Welcome to Marvel Cookie Cutter. All right, these T5 level ions. If this, let me put it this way. I don't know if it can. It may not be enough ions, but if this is the difference between me getting a character to level 5 with their ions or not, is this worth 40 million gold?
The only way I could justify this...
I guess, is there a way you could justify this?
The only way to justify this is if you have a absolute metric ton of gold and no training materials to use it on. Like, that's the only way.
I have no training materials. I don't have a metric ton, but I'll still have a lot of gold after that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I have no training mats is the only reason I'm considering that.
Yeah. That's a bit it for me. It's way too expensive for my blood. Also, I thought it was crazy. It was 40 million gold for one radiant orb. That's insane.
Hold on. How far away is my Quasar right now? Oh no, it's way more than that. Never mind. No, it's not. It's not worth 80. Never mind. Not worth. Okay, let's move on to Thunderstrike Raids.
That would get you purple 5 on Quasar though.
Dude, this oh my goodness, this has so much potential. This could have been so good.
Yeah, it could have.
There's details that they got wrong on this though. So for myself, I want to hear your thoughts. It's the limiting. It's the limiting to gear tier 20 characters. Yeah. If I could use gear tier 19 characters to get my butt kicked, that would feel way better than limiting me and not being able to enter this at all. That's what the biggest thing for me. I know some people don't like that there's no heals. I know that people don't like that there's that you can't use. Well, there's two things. You can't use power cores to heal, and there's no heal packs that they mentioned in the blog.
Yeah.
What is the biggest issue for you? And again, we're end game players talking, so this may be totally different than where you are. But what is the biggest issue for you with this race story?
I have like 4 giant issues with this race.
All right. What are the four?
So number 1 is the gear tier 20 gate. The last 2 teams are both Mystic teams. They're the only teams that are on the Stormbound nodes, right? 8 of the 10 characters, I guess 9 of the 11 characters you can use on the Stormbound nodes, they're all Mystic. We haven't had a Mystic leaderboard to kind of offset that whatsoever. They haven't given us Mystic gear through Quasar Scourge gives you 25 Mystic minis on each side. We haven't had an extra one of those.
They have Mystic pieces in the Sigil store.
Ooh, I farm those every single day. Since Brimstone, I farm the Mystic gear every single day. Even I had enough to do everybody but Serpent Steel. And that's from somebody who is laser focused on only gear 220. I do not touch character shards in that store, just gear 220. I don't know what to buy in that store because I'm so starved for shards and anyway, sorry. Yeah. But to your point, the gear gate was unnecessary because the content here was difficult enough that if you did go in here with gear 219, you're gonna get smacked around.
Oh yeah, this boss getting my butt kicked, that was actually fun for me. Not being able to go into the boss, that's not fun. But getting my butt kicked on this, I'm like, oh yes, I can't wait for this to come back when my characters are stronger. I want to face that boss. I love that part.
Yeah, that third Stormbound node would absolutely decimate a gear tier 19 Immortal Weapons. And that'll be my second issue, is the Immortal Weapons team. The Immortal Weapons team is the team that was designed for the second and third Stormbound node, and pretty much the first as well. But that team has not been free-to-play released at all yet. So you not only would you have to go above and beyond to have the Mystic gear ready to gear tier 20 them, but you would also have to go above and beyond to unlock those characters, whether that be through only Lady Bullseye was available with sigils at the time of this release, and we're going to talk about one of my other issues that's going to compound into this. You would have had to have cored both Swordmaster and Steel Serpent. to be able to have the team available for this. And like Steel Serpent's mechanics, the turn meter rewinds and slows, they're essential. I mean, the last character, Swordmaster, essential for the energy battery. So it's like, that's number 2. Like this team was not released yet. If they want to do something like this, you only can, like, only one character should be like, okay, you have to core this. And even that, I don't love. Right, like they should have at least had Swordmaster released before.
Let me push back on you a little. There's some people in chat saying they had no immortal weapons. They did it with just brimstone. I did the Thunderstrike. I have not. So it's not possible with just brimstone. If they're claiming they did the Thunderstruck difficulty with just brimstone, they're lying. Or I mean, maybe they have 5 diamonds every brother. Well, I went in with diamonds on my brimstone to that second node, and I died 3 times before I got a turn. I'm telling you, if it is possible, it's horseshoe shoved all the way up there. It's not likely. I should have looked at this before, but I think I guess the reason they were saying that is you could, if you beat the first few at the Thunderstrike difficulty, I think it's the first 5, maybe, if I'm not mistaken, you still are able to get like the 5 red stars for Thunderstrike and get his awakened abilities. Is that accurate? That's not accurate.
That's not accurate. You have to do all 6 of the individual nodes to get his awakened ability.
Okay. What about just the red stars? Can you just do a few for the red stars? Maybe I was misunderstanding that.
Red stars you see 4, so you don't need immortal weapons for that. You don't need immortal weapons if you do the first 2, which is gear 219, the third one, which is like vigilante at gear 220, and then the conqueror at gear 220. You do those 4, then yes, you can get the 7 red stars. It's not that the rewards are bad for not being able to do all the content here. It's the way in which they gated all the content that made this mode feel bad. The mode itself has promise. If it was communicated properly, if we were not kind of programmed for what the status quo was, for them to dump the status quo on its head so violently the way this mode did, then it would be more palatable, but they didn't do that. And that'll lead me to, let me go through the other 2 issues I have with this game mode. Faking character stats. Okay, I was talking one time.
This is a new one. This is a new one for me. This is a new one for me. I haven't heard about this. This is new.
I was talking one of the envoy summons. I was talking to one of the big wigs. Okay, and he was telling me, like, when crafting combat, one of the most important things to do is to make sure it's crafted in such a way that a player coming in knows what to expect from the enemy players. So on that last Stormbound node, if you go to the second wave of characters, the North Star, the second last node, the Stormbound node. That one right there. That's the easy difficulty. If you go to the hard difficulty, there's North Stars on the node, and Shaws. And the thing about those characters is North Star gains speed stat in raids, but the immortal weapons turn speed stat off. So what a lot of players did is they beat the first wave, exited out, and they're like, okay, I'm going to go back in now to the second wave. The speeds are going to be evened out because I have this speed stat stopper, and I'm going to go from there. However, what actually happened was whoever crafted the nodes gave North Star 190 base speed stat and jacked up his damage. Gave Shaw 160 speed stat and jacked up his damage. Same with Daemon and same with the endgame Thanos. So players used what is considered like strategy, skill expression to try and tackle the node, immediately got wrecked for it, and then issue number 4, no heals. And because there was no heals, there was no way to sort of rectify your mistake. You can reset the node, but it doesn't give you your team back. It doesn't fix your cooldowns. It doesn't, like, if I had, one of my characters at like 30% life, but I thought it'd be okay because I'm walking into a North Star, I'm going to get heals before he takes a turn. When I reset the node, instead there's a Daemon there, and that Daemon is always going to be faster than immortal weapons. He always hits you for it's like 6 million or something like that. So it just immediately will kill you instantly. So there was a trap set on that last node that I find just turbo disgusting, and that's on top of the gear gate, and that's on top of the character gate. It all compiled, and it really ruined this event for me. And I guess the fifth thing is if you screw up one node, you're done on that awakened ability. There is no rectifying your mistake. 0.
Now, that's true. Yeah, bad communication and no room for error, I think, is a really bad combination because you can't really experiment with stuff. So there's little room for error. And if you don't know about any of the different changes that they've made to this or stuff, there's no way to rectify this. But I guess maybe we were confused, Dorky, about the raids, because they put this communication out. They wanted to clear up confusion that we've had about this. So maybe this will help us clear up the confusion.
Yeah.
We're monitoring feedback. Wanted to share a couple of notes in an effort to clear up the confusion about the Thunderstrike raids. So it's probably that we're confused. The Thunderstrike raid is Chapter 3 content. Next time red starts for Thunderstrike, there will not be a Scourge for Thunderstrike. Just like with the previous chapters, there will be 3 opportunities to run this through the content, with additional nodes being added to second and third runs. This was not communicated beforehand, so this would have been helpful. Also, all 3 Thunderstrike Awakening abilities will be up for grabs over the course of the chapter, and if you missed out on one, you'll have a second and third opportunity to acquire what you missed out on. So maybe only a certain amount of people are supposed to get into this first one. And second, third is when we're going to get this stuff. Power cores were not intended to be used as a mechanism to heal, and the Thunderstrike health packs may be distributed at a later date. They will not be released for this run. Now, they did say that about the power cores. I guess their way around it was very weird, though. If you look at if you go in, it costs like billions of cores to heal.
Yeah,
This is a weird one, though. Why did they even mention these health packs? You could only heal them using there's Thunderstrike health packs, which may be distributed at a later date. Why even mention this? Why even mention this?
To keep it on the table, I guess. I mean, even in the other communication you just showed, they still use the word may. So they're still giving themselves an out if they choose not to do it, and they just won't communicate it with us until the last second, right? Which is just ridiculous. So listen, we weren't confused. There were some underhanded things that happened here. It says
we were confused. It says we were confused.
Yeah, listen. If you know, was Occam's razor, it's like don't attribute just to malice what could be contributed to stupidity. I've often given them that. They're now saying like, no, this was on you actually. No. So now you are being malicious because this is nonsense. And now you are just retroactively like just revisionist history because it's after the fact. Like, no. Just absolutely no. Okay. It's cool that they are going to be like, okay, like you can actually earn the Awakening passive in the next run. Great. That's fine. However, keep in mind, they will be adding new nodes. Those nodes very likely to be gated behind gear, so you better get your mystic gear in order for your immortal weapons, and you better start getting your mutant gear in order for the new mutants, because they're going to be additional nodes for the second and third run. They're going to require the new team, right? There's going to be Crucible rules turned on for that one for sure. And then will that Thunderstrike Awaken passive be then gated behind also needing your new mutants at that same level? Like, so yes. At least we're now getting the warning, get that in order, or you can't complain later. Fine. Yes. Fine. But the health back thing missed me with that. Like, you're just lying. And also, don't mess with character stats. It's ridiculous.
All right. What are some simple changes they could do for this second and third? And you know, obviously, all the things you said would be great. What are some simple things that they could do for the second and third runs to make this less bad? I get a less bad feeling. Is it removing the gear tier 20 requirement? Is it removing the ability to heal with power cores? Is it actually giving us these health packs? Is it communicating? If they were to make like some simple changes, that'd be easy for them. What would be the thing that makes this to a bad rate to a okay? This is an okay experience. Maybe not a great rate, but an okay experience. What would be the simple thing that could change for this?
Yeah, I mean, if heal packs were available, either, you know, through buying them or through, you know, how we just got 500 for the negative zone, had they done that, this would have been so much more palatable. Because yes, when I talk about changing the character stats, they've done that before. We've never liked it, but there's never been such a unforgiving high stakes mode where we find it. So like, if they're going to do that, there has to be a way where somebody can be like, oh crap, they did that, so I got to change it. And then they just don't do that for their second and third run. That would have definitely helped a lot. We didn't even talk about like the structure of the raid. In the first raid, I had one guy who he thought it was like the Annihilus raid, and he immediately joined it on somebody else's lane. And now him and that guy are screwed for Thunderstrike Red Stars, at least for the first little bit. And like, I reamed him out because like, brother, like you can't do that.
Wait, we had a free one, right? That had no milestones. Like they were supposed to run 3 of them. We're gonna get 4 of them. So
we sure did.
Shouldn't that have been?
We sure did have that free run Valley that didn't have. Yep.
I give Scopely other credit, but I've had other crap on the stuff that should, but that one should have been figured out. I
agree. I just, the fact that can happen is really annoying. Like, could you imagine if this was running? This did run over the weekend, didn't it? What if somebody was getting kicked from the Alliance and they were pissed off about it, so they went and they joined in on somebody's lane and ruined it for them?
Oh, dude.
Like, there's some real griefing that you could have done here.
We're giving you warning. You're getting kicked in 2 days. Okay. Oh, you're kicking me? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to screw up your whole Thunderstrike then.
Yeah. Like, it's something that could absolutely happen. Anyway, I just... I think it's really cool when they try new things, like the Echoes of Abyss Null boss fight. I think it's really cool when they try new things. I think that they need to iterate on it to try and fix all these loose ends that people end up, screaming about. And I think that they need to not give up on the past game modes that people really enjoyed. Like, I don't know if we're talking about it, but when was the last time we've seen a meaningful tower, right?
Oh, we're talking a lot beforehand. Let's go into that because, man... The last couple towers have been crap. It's been that odd, like maybe at certain levels of the game it's really appropriate for the difficulty, but for endgame players, the last few towers have been horrible. Just auto. And that is something both of us were looking forward to, right? We're talking about, what is a way we could utilize our whole roster before we started recording? It's like, we have that. We have tower, like, oh yeah, tower. I forgot about that. We haven't had a real one for so long. The past few has been like the Avenger Tower. The one before, the one a couple weeks ago was July, the exact same thing. So at least since July, we haven't had a real tower mode to utilize our roster. But I do like that they're trying different things, though. I wanted to keep trying different things. They will fail sometimes. I wouldn't say that this raid is a total fail. I would say that certain things, like their communication, the health, like all the stuff you mentioned is a fail, but they should keep trying new things. I want difficult content. I want content that
Agreed.
I get my butt kicked. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait for this to come back in a couple weeks or in a couple months, and I'm gonna smash it then. But I want hard content.
I agree. Yeah. No, I agree. They shouldn't be shy from doing stuff like that. Fix what needs to be fixed. Try it again. Like how they're gonna run that awakened ability again in the second run. Good. Like that's the compromise. Like we're not gonna just instantly comp everybody now and everybody gets it. We're gonna run it again then. Yeah, you're probably gonna need this new team, but now you know what to expect. Now we're gonna hopefully get those heals out there, or at least communicate that the heals are not coming. At least one or the other, right? There's give and take. Want to try something new? Cool. We'll make it better, evolve it. That's how these games are going to progress, and that's okay.
You made a good point too. You don't have to compensate for every little thing that you guys do. I don't need compensation. I mean, it's nice. I want to get the stuff, but I don't want compensation for everything. Sometimes I just suck it up. Get your characters better. Figure it out, guys.
100%.
All right, Battleworld. All right. This was challenging, but at least for me, it was doable. What was your experience with this? We got a lot of content this week. The Chaos nodes were pretty challenging. Some of the other nodes were pretty challenging. Some of it's pretty auto-y. What are your thoughts on Battleworld? Too easy? Too difficult?
So for me, for the most part, it's very auto. The exceptions would be the Chaos nodes, which are fun. But I mean, I solved them before, so I know exactly what to do now, which is like I make a Blastar, a Falcon, and a Hercules team. And it's always the last wave that's the most difficult. So I always just make sure Blastar has 5 bomber stacks ready to go. Hercules gives him offense up via Hercules special. Then when that last wave's in, Blastar just annihilates everything, right? So I have that solved, but I can realize that is actually fun, engaging content. And then there's that node you were just on, the Accursed Hellfire Club node.
That was tough.
Brother, I hate Miss Brava Classic. I hate her. She's the worst character in the game, but it's fun. I ended up getting through it with Hellfire Club this time, which is interesting.
I tried it with Hellfire Club the first time, couldn't get through it. I kept trying it over and over on stream with Hellfire Club. It was like, use a curse. I'm like, how's a curse going to do this? Went through it first time with a curse. I'm like, how did that happen?
So like, it's fun, right? Because the Accursed method is you keep Satana ultimate, and she does 66% of Miss Marvel Classic's life right away, and then you try and alter off the planet, right? And that can work. The Hellfire Club method,
I think I just got lucky. I didn't use that strategy at all. I think I just got lucky with it. I got through the first one.
Hey man, whatever it takes. The Hellfire Club,
I don't even know what it is.
Cool too, though. So the Hellfire Club method was like, make sure Shaw is charged, and then knock off Miss Marvel Classics charges, and then Shaw can stun her, and then you go from there. And so there's like 2 different strategies you could use to get through it.
That Hellfire Club didn't work for me ever. Like the last time we had this, and it didn't work this time. I tried it over, and it never worked for me. So I'm glad at least their cursed worked. And I might have lucked into how it with their cursed one as well. This one was pretty challenging. Well, the Omega Red, I like the challenge.
Yeah, well, for the Mega Red, I throw Astral Quasar at it and I hit auto. It takes a long time, but it eventually beats it because the Astral's a battle roll team, right? They get so many different buffs.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, this is the win. This is a win. The other big thing with this Sentry, we're getting some Sentry rewards, and this is some Sentry red stars. The first time we could get some red stars for him. I think it looked like we're not getting too many shards, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get the unlock. My alliance said that we are getting the unlock, so I think I am. I'm assuming you are. Yep. What are you expecting from this event? Challenge, or is this just getting the red stars? What kind of gameplay are you expecting, or is this just rewards?
Probably like null. It's going to be like use Sentry and Blitz for 5 days straight or something like that. That's what they did for null, right? They just gave away the red stars. They're like, go use null in combat every once a day, and then every day you get additional red stars.
Yeah, okay. You know what was fun? We didn't talk about this because a couple weeks of the null event that came back.
Yep.
That was challenging. I love that. What were your thoughts on a null event?
So I think the null event was made fun because there was sort of this loophole of percentage damage, which is fine. Like with the players finding the loopholes, finding the easy ways to beat things, like that's cool. That's exciting, right? The null fight itself, if you didn't know that loophole, it's such a smothering bad encounter. But if you didn't know the loophole, you were able to beat at the highest difficulty. If you had the right characters to gear to 20, get some orbs. I thought that was great. But what I wanted to take away from the Echoes of the Abyss game mode, if you will, is that it's boss fight meets Scourge. And I think that is such a cool concept that I would love to see them like dive into, but not with the battle roll bosses. Like make a new boss where it's, we have the Scourge, where you get the difficulty slider, we get a whole bunch of mods, and then have like a Magneto boss or have an Apocalypse boss. Like there's so much cool things you could do there because we've already established players don't need to unlock the boss version of these characters. Like we don't have the null boss version. We have a different version. Same with Sentry. We're getting a different, like we could do that just so we have like a really cool encounter to fight. And they could give like, again, these diamond orbs that have terrible drop rates. You give them out like candy. People are going to win on it for sure. Some people walked away with like 5 diamonds on null. Good for you. I still have my 1 diamond null. I still had fun with the event. I don't begrudge people for getting lucky. I'm just happy I had something to do. And I think that was so cool.
I like the gameplay now, and I actually enjoyed it before the workaround was figured out because like, this difficulty is way too hard. This is gonna give me something to look forward to when it comes back. And then the workaround came around, and then there was another workaround that came around and made it even easier. And so that part was a little disappointing. I wanted something that like, this is way too hard. I don't want to beat it on the first run, and with the workaround we were able to. I also didn't get any diamonds on null, which was a little disappointing, but I did enjoy the event. So I can't. Now I'm like, I can't wait till it comes back. I want to beat the boss again. Let me try my luck again. So I think that was a win. I don't think the entire player base feels the same way, but for me, I thought it was a win. That was so challenging.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, next topic is the newest team that, as you can see, I don't have them unlocked yet. The reason I don't have them unlocked yet is what we talked about earlier. Even if I scored this character, even if I bought this character, I have no training mats to build her up to a decent level. So I don't have the new mutants unlocked yet. Do you have them unlocked yet? Did you core on this character? And if you did, is it worth it to get this character right now? Are they just for Cosmic Crucible, or do they have any value outside of the Cosmic Crucible for this team? Obviously, they probably will be for the next version of the raids, because that's kind of how they do things here. Yeah,
so I did core to unlock Wolfsbane. I got lucky, 3 orbs. I had a nice little 80 drop fall in there. I wanted to spend gold because there's a Mephisto event, but I didn't want to buy any of those stupid things. I was like, I'll try my luck with Wolfsbane. Lucky first orb, went the rest of the way to get it done. Happy with that.
Nice.
But like outside of that, if you're trying to find a way to like efficiently spend gold for this event, There's no reason to unlock this character early. She does nothing for the Cosmic Crucible team. Like, yes, if somebody is stupid and goes into you with a stealth character, she'll give speed up to her new mutant allies, and maybe that'll be a problem. But just don't do that, right? Until Warlock is released, this team is kind of a lame duck. And even when Warlock is released, I do think there's some concerns that you can outspeed this team, just speed stat this team. And if you have them at low stars, a team like Fantastic Four that'll outspeed you is going to just decimate you off the field. So then they become an offense team. But once again, if I try and use this New Mutants team into like an end game Thanos team in stage 1 where he's getting 200% additional damage when he goes below 50%, does his pass, like I'm just going to die, right? So am I excited for this New Mutants team? Honestly, not so much. I mean, I love Crucible. I understand that when they're built up, they're going to be an absolute powerhouse. Of course, they're going to be for the Thunderstrike Raids. As far as the New Mutants go, I liked their movie, but I wouldn't like rally for them to get a second movie. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not very exciting characters for me. It's another anti-Alpha Strike team, which, I mean, yes, there's definitely a place for that in this game, but it's not exciting for me on that front. And yeah, until Warlock comes out, they don't stop enough speed avenues to just not get demolished.
And in your testing, are these guys, what are they able to beat? And any value in war? Obviously, I don't think they're going to have any arena value, and raids are super limited. So unless they actually have the trait, like they probably will for the Thunderstrike Raids, the next version. But where are these guys used? Is this just a Cosmic Crucible team? And are they even like top 3 Cosmic Crucible offense teams when you tested them?
Yeah, so they'll be the number 1 cookie cutter Cosmic Crucible team.
Okay.
They'll be like a Curse 2.0, but not like 2 times better, like maybe 20% better than a Cursed is what I would say. So like they're good. They're very, very good, but just like it's just not exciting enough for me to be like, this team.
And they're in lane only, it seems.
Yeah, I didn't even test them in war, but I would assume they get absolutely blown out of the water in war. They'll probably end up just on defense for players that don't have other teams built up. Because like, I built this team up for Crucible. Might as well slap them on defense so they can't beat anything on offense. That's what I would assume, but I didn't test them on war myself.
Okay. I mean, I didn't see anything that stood out in their kits. So I was just assumed they wouldn't be that good in war, but I don't know. Sometimes there's some surprising things in practice. All right. As far as their showcase event, this Mysterious Rift, the one for the Mortal Weapons, or I guess the one for the Mortal Weapons was pretty challenging. I like that though. Again, I want challenging content that I fail on. I think it was the first node and the fourth node were very, very challenging. Some of it was because you don't get the full team. This New Mutants one though. New Mutants in the Brimstone, full auto. I was very disappointed in that. Do you like these that it's pretty much auto, but you're getting rewards, decent rewards? Or would you like something more like the Mortal Weapons where it's challenging, even with like the mission provided characters?
No, so I think both of them are flawed. I think flawed for different reasons, obviously. And I do think there's a way to do campaigns where they're interesting, especially with mission provided characters. When you're trying to showcase off a team that requires 3 members to do the interesting part of their kits, but you don't give the 3 members, it ruins it, right? Or when you put an obstacle in front of the team that is going to just like extremely control or extremely damage you before you get to do anything, that feels bad.
So now, node 1 and node 4 from the Mortal Weapons is what you're referring to.
and the overcorrection for New Mutants and Brimstone is like, okay, just make it auto. Like we're not really, it doesn't showcase the team. So what should happen in these cases, in my opinion, is because it's a campaign node, essentially means it's a single attempt combat. Like you have to beat it in the first time you attempt it, right? You can't have the opening enemies be too overwhelming, but you can have the secondary wave or even the third wave drop in that is a legitimate threat to your team. But because you built a momentum, because you have certain aspects of your team that'll maybe cripple certain aspects of that difficult element dropping in, then you're able to overcome that. Yeah. Right. So
I like it.
It's got to be like a 2-step process where there's got to be some thought process put in. And no, you shouldn't put freaking Wolfsbane with Magic and Sunspot and be like, here's the showcase, guys. Good luck. Like, it's just silly. Like, what are you going to do? Okay, you're going to put an Invisible Woman on spawn so I immediately get speed up and immediately win? Cool. Like, what are we doing?
I mean, ideally, what you're saying is like the best case scenario, right? You look at it, I go in with the team, like, yeah, this team's gonna get their butt kicked. And then the team wins, like, oh my goodness, this team is great. For me as a player, that's fun. And I'm sure Scopely would love that because it's like, I want to buy this team now, but I don't see that with these showcases. So it's not a great, like it's not like a great sales tactic. And it's I don't know, it's not as fun. So what you're describing is like the ideal scenario, and hopefully they do that. I thought we were going to be getting that when we got that very hard version of Immortal Weapons, and then went back to this. So I don't know. Hopefully they find a balance that we get the challenge, and it's mission provided character, so it's not like based on where your level's at. As long as you're at the commander level, you could go and do this and see how good the team could potentially be. And then the new Mutants, they're a Cosmic Crucible team. The Immortal Weapons were a raid team. Give the raid bonuses, give the Cosmic Crucible bonuses, make it super challenging. And like they're not gonna win, and then they end up winning. That's what I think would be good. Not just for Scopely, not just for the players, but for everybody. I think that's a good scenario for everybody.
100%.
We also had changes to 2 of the new Mutants before they're released in the game, Cannonball and Warlock. This is the communication from a couple days ago. Received feedback regarding the new Mutants team, and we're making 2 changes to the team. First, to Cannonball. His passive has mechanics where in Crucible, he has 3 new mutant allies. Support and protector enemies cannot spawn with immunity. They've expanded this to villain controllers as well, so he's getting a little stronger, mainly just for Cosmic Crucible though. And Warlock. He has a passive where in Crucible on self or new mutant ally turn, that ally had no defense up and no negative effects. Flip 1 negative effect to defense up and any other remaining deflects. This was changed because it does not require defense up any longer. Now requires 3 new mutant allies. So you got a little bit stronger, but still, I think they're just going to be a Cosmic Crucible team, even with these changes. Let me know your thoughts on this team and the team after these changes go into effect. Costume store, we got some updates. They talked about 2 costumes. This one, the Groot fully trimmed, the holiday sweater for Drax. There's a cap on your costume credits. So I bought a costume. I bought the Photon costume. Did you buy any of these costumes? Are you missing any of these costumes? Is there any that if you were missing would be appealing for you enough for you to go get?
Well, I'm just now checking the store. I haven't checked the store at all, but since you brought it up, I am.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna get the Siege Thor costume right now. Actually, I don't know why I didn't have it yet.
It doesn't look as good. It doesn't look as good, but it's for the collection part. You gotta get it.
Exactly. I mean, I have the Love and Thunder costume, so of course I'm gonna use that one. But I'm over the cap. I'm actually at 416,000 costume credits, so I must have been over before they did the conversion and put a cap on it.
Oh, okay. Yes, I've been buying it because it's the cap. So yeah. Let me know down in the comments what you have gotten. Cosmic Crucible, we got some new rules that went into effect this week. The Ultimate 32 is over. Any big attacks or any big defensives, anything that's worth discussing, any cool counters that you saw this week in Cosmic Crucible?
Brother, I hate Endgame Thanos in Stage 1. I absolutely loathe Endgame Thanos in Stage 1. His passive hitting you at 200% damage kills so many characters that you have built to like gear tier 20, and you've maxed them out purple ISO, and then Endgame Thanos comes in, he's like, you hit me too low, now everybody dies. So that I think Endgame Thanos passive was the biggest mistake they could have possibly made in this game, and you could tell that it was done on purpose because they used this guy against us in literally every single piece.
Was it a mistake? Content. Because every PvE node that I see is Thanos. I'm like, oh man, how do I deal with this? How do I avoid that passive going off?
And so like currently the only way you could do it is put trauma on him and then offense down before he pops. And we could do that in PvE, but in PvP, brother, like that's not always the option, especially in Cosmic Crucible. You just got to eat it, or you got to one-shot him with like a really charged up blaster. And it's just like, brother, I'm so tired of the same riddle, the same proximity bomb that is always being fed into. There's always a room where Endgame Thanos is like, I get 5,000% damage because I'm a freaking healer or something. Like it's just, I'm just over it. I hate it.
There's always going to be a room for him. I think they designed that passive to screw us up in War Crucible and all PvE content. This is interesting. DOS Year's room. It looked like it worked this time. Did you see any issues with it? I think this is the first time it's ever worked, and they kept it because usually after the first week, they're switching to something else. Did you have any issues with this? I thought this was a pretty cool room. All heroes are all villains. I screwed up that day one, and I forgot Doctor Strange Heartless is a villain. So.
No, I didn't experience any issues with it. The only problem I had with it is that I put my Illuminati Black Knight Blue Marvel team in there, and I thought that'd be really good because they'll get extra life, right? And then somebody hit it with an Immortal X-Men and nearly beat my Blue Marvel team. And I was like,
Marvel, who is that guy? I don't know that character.
Exactly.
Is he in the game yet? Is he in the game yet?
He's a bum. No, but you got to be careful because if you try and put a team that is like a burst team in there and heroes come in and they're able just to tank more because that 50% life is very impactful, it can be dicey. Like that's a very interesting room.
All right, so it's pretty fun. I'm glad that they got it. All right, I was asked to ask you about your war. We are in matchmaking right now, but specifically about a Quasar counter to Professor X.
Oh, brother!
I'm gonna go look for a clip of that. But what before I play the clip, any thoughts to introduce it?
Somebody saw that crash out. No, so it used to be that you put a Quasar team together to counter Professor X, right? And then when you put Purple ISO on Quasar, he's now the highest damage. So then he's absorbing the Professor X mind controls. And so you die before you get to actually do what that freaking counter is supposed to do. So then you put Purple ISO on Storm, who you had no interest in putting Purple ISO on Storm, but you did it for this very particular Professor X counter. And then a week later, the developers decide, actually, you know what? No more Avengers buff in war. We're just going to make it Mighty Avengers instead. And then now it doesn't matter that your Storm has higher diamonds and is also a striker. She still has less damage than your Quasar. And so you lose it. Here's the fun part. You cannot switch Quasar to a Raider ISO 3 to drop his damage down because then he won't do his ISO attack, which is needed to kill the Professor X. And then you've wasted all your goddamn resources and you're screwed. And it's stupid and I hate it.
Wait, you already have Blue Marvel though, so it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, but I can't rewind him. If they were to let me rewind, okay, honestly, if there was an option to rewind my Quasar to Striker level 3, I would do it. Keep the ISOs. I don't care. I would do it. Because that is a necessary mandatory counter in war. And the fact that building my characters up hurts me more because they don't know how to do mind control like every other game does it. I don't know, man. Always choosing the highest damage hurts you in building your team. Why do I want to build my team up? It's going to ruin counter. It's like Electra passive and Black Widow passive. I'm going to lose my mind. I
love this. Like this. That's awesome. I haven't been this passionate about Marvel Strike Force in a while. Like good, positive or negative. I think that's awesome. I love it. I don't like war, but if it's gonna get me this passionate, I think I may want to play war because I love that. I've been so indifferent for a while. Yeah, that's awesome. So, that's. Communication. It comes back to communication from the devs. Communicate that you're going to make these changes and all that stuff. So I think that's the big theme of the week. Communicate more scopely, and then just give us more resources as well.
Yeah.
Any other final thoughts in addition to that rant that I loved?
No, that's gotta. I gotta keep my breath for later.
Sorry. I know you're fighting cold. I don't want to get you up.
I just hope that they stick the landing on the Christmas celebration. They obviously did not do a good job on the American Thanksgiving celebration, so they better stick it on the Christmas.
That's from a Canadian. That's from a Canadian telling you that you didn't do Thanksgiving right. So that's a problem with scope.
Yeah, brother. I want to see 15 million gold underneath my Christmas tree on the 24th or the 25th.
We're getting a little bit gold from the negative zone.
That's not good enough. I want 50 million gold to every player because 50 million gold does not break the game. It lets people build up. Count them, one character. Okay,
hey, Scopely, let me just let your economy person know that everybody will love that, and after a couple of days, they won't even know. They won't even notice. But for the first few days with that 50 million, they'll be like, "I love you guys, so do it."
Do it. That's
it's not going to break the game at all. It's not going to break the game at all. Do it. Do it. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you guys next time. Make sure you check out all of Dorky Dad's videos and all of his streams. If you want great gameplay content, how to do certain things, that's where I turn to whenever I am struggling with content in the game. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Hulk, fist bump, ValleyFlyin, and Dorky Dad. Oh, it has been way too long. Have a great one, guys.